Hey, what's up, y'all? It's DaZ Exotic. And of course, as usual, my
It's
boy
your
Murk
boy,
saying, hey,
Murk
what's up?
name. What's up with
Hey,
you, blood?
you know we gotta say it anyways.
Everybody wanna know. 28, bitch, that's a O.
Oh. And today, we're gonna talk about relationships and all kinds of stuff. And the longest running battle of all time between guys and girls and love and money. And actually, I actually have the person who inspired this idea with me. She's been a friend for a very long time, very creative, very smart, and hilarious. And she got a friend with her. It is C and Aaron B. What up, y'all?
What's up with y'all? What's up with y'all?
Just share so everyone can watch this go down.
Hey, y'all watching. Share at home, flame up, pour you a drink, but get ready to think. We're gonna be talking about in Kira. I mean, see, the story is you had a post. Hey, Melina, what's up, lady? You oh shit. Ladies is already in the room. Uh-oh. We got guys versus girls today, but no, not really, because we're all in the same place. But so basically, you had somebody solicit you, basically, trying to buy pictures off of you. And you put that motherfucker on blast.
Yeah.
Oh, so this her?
yeah,
Get the fuck out of here. I
like,
heard, I heard.
yeah.
This
And
all just went down this weekend. So very, very fresh. Lots to talk about this topic.
hey, lighten up. But so how so you put him on blast and literally the comment section kind of went crazy and the guy begged you to take it down.
Well, he asked me. His wife is the one that begged me, which was
It's,
her fault.
damn, he was married.
Yeah. I guess how deep you want me to go and kind of tell the backstory about the situation.
uh Tell the backstory a little bit more, give context to how it came to the point and why you felt like you had to put the man on blast.
So I run three different Instagram pages. I'm very compartmentalized in my life. And so my personal page, this local man that lives where I live, reached out to me and told me I was pretty. It wasn't in response to a specific picture, but I was like, okay, thanks. And he gave me some background about myself. We went to the same college, we lived in the same town as me, moved away at some point, and now he lives back in town. And he worked for a large employer in our town that half the town works in. And so he gave me personal information about himself. It seemed like he was trying to gauge how old I was. He told me when he graduated college, and so I thought that he had a romantic interest in me. And I'm single, so I'm open to meeting people organically. I don't do any online dating. I haven't in the past, but I've been single for the last 4 years, pretty much. So I was
Ooh, so you used to online date and stopped?
so I actually met my ex fiance on Fish like 8 years ago, and we were together for 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah,
We'll leave that. We'll get into online dating a little bit
yeah,
later, but so let's continue with your story.
sure. So the way he came at me was that he was like trying to gauge my age, trying to get to know me. He lives in the same town as me. So I think this guy, could potentially ask me on a date or try to get to know me romantically, because on my page, which has a lot of stuff to me as opposed to my other two pages, which are more food and business oriented. And so we were chatting, and then he like wanted my Snapchat, which my history, strangers on Snapchat are just trouble. You know, that's the way you out that back that I was doing.
First red flag.
Yeah.
What's your Snapchat, shorty? I mean, how long had he conversated before he asked for the snap?
I mean, honestly, I was at work, so like it was just kind of like a back and forth as like time to respond to him. But like he asked me a couple leading questions about myself. Like it's not like he's for days or anything, but it felt like he was trying to get to know me. As opposed to, yo, send me a nude. You know, like he just kind of jump off the back of that. It was like it's seemingly he was interested.
Would
And
he
so
have not would he have not gotten doxxed or like exposed if he had just been like, yo, shorty, I think you bad. Can
yeah,
I buy some
I have to
pictures?
like be on my merry way. And like dudes do that shit all the time.
And even in the conversation and the text messages, the dialogue, what you would if somebody did ask you, would you just say no and keep it moving? I mean, honestly, it almost needs to stop in general, kind of.
On like how they go about it. If someone is more flirtatious and we already established maybe a chemistry where they're kind of alluring not necessarily payment, but just like kind of flirting back and forth on Snapchat. Like I've done that before with people that I know. Like I've flirted on Snapchat, sent kind of provocative pictures on Snapchat. Like I'm not saying that I wouldn't do that, but to some random person who wants to ask me on Snapchat, I said, why would I do on Snapchat to continue this conversation? And I said, strangers on Snapchat tend to
So
not.
he said to continue the conversation.
Yeah, he asked if we on Snapchat or if we could talk on there. And I said, why would I do on Snapchat?
I mean, I've tried to move a conversation from, messages to
Let me go get my phone
Snapchat
here.
before.
That's facts. That's facts. Me too. Shit.
Yeah,
But
so
that's why you knew what was coming with it, though.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, writing. Strangers on Snapchat tend not to be respectable. As I out, text me or he messages me on Instagram and says, do you ever send pictures for money? And so after telling him how strangers on Snapchat are trash, he was right. And that's when I was like, okay, that's where you lost me.
And he never admitted to being married.
No, I didn't find this out until the next day because the post that I made on Facebook, so I communicated on Instagram, I took a screenshot of the message, put it on my Facebook, and said, hey, does anyone know this app? And it turns out people did, and they shared it with him. It was public, and so that's kind of how it snowballed. Like, this town is pretty small, like very 6 degrees of separation. So I'm not surprised that we had mutual friends.
And so you didn't figure out that he was married till his wife was in the comment sections saying, take that shit down.
So she DM'd me and said, "This is his wife, and you could please take down this post." They tried to tell me that he was hacked, and if I don't do it for him, do it for her and her child. And I'm like, so why is your comfortability more important as a married woman and how people see your family than I am as a single woman that's being over sexualized and I have something to say about it? You're telling me that your reputation is more important than my truth, which is that people exploit me, and I want everyone to know.
Now, I think that a lot of people get it confused that, like, because you do post a lot of fun and like flirtatious stuff that people want. Oh, somebody said his wife a nasty bitch for that. That's rough. Y'all be nice. We're not trying to be mean in the comment section.
No,
But
fuck that shit.
I
I
mean
haven't
that's
seen any of them. Okay.
that's I mean that's a low level of that's pretty I mean there's a fine line between defending your man and crossing that line. I mean, she humiliated herself publicly, basically, in your comment section.
So the wife
Proudly.
was not my section. They had a full female section
Oh.
that was doing damage control
I fuck
by
with it.
reaching out to people in my comments and saying that he was hacked and that's not like his character. And I also messaged me privately and I said, hey, I'm more than willing to take this post down once you give me hard evidence that he was hacked. But
Because he
until
ended up saying he was hacked.
that, that ended up being the story was that he was hacked. One was locations
He
and
said he was
he was
hacked.
at a school function at the park yesterday when this all happened. And I asked I asked him his landing page, the direct message on Instagram. I said, okay, if this was a hacker, send me your landing page so I can see all the other women that your supposed hacker was messaging yesterday. Because I doubt a hacker just took out one person, right? And wanted to take me to Snapchat. They didn't send me to a link. They didn't ask me for money. They were trying to pay me. This hacker was nice to me.
You're savage as hell. Yo, this man was on Instagram. He was trying hard to get it taken down because he went from apologizing, saying it was sickening, that
Yeah.
he was disgusted with himself, to saying he was hacked and messaging you through Instagram like, hey, what's up? My page got hacked. What happened?
Yeah. He
Man,
messaged apologizing
I
after his wife and his friends on. He then got on Instagram and was like, "Oh, this is news to me. I'm so sorry to hear someone contacted you on my page asking for pictures," and like put on a mask like he was someone else. It's like, dude, I see right through this. And I did get a picture of his location page, and it was all from the same location since like last October of 2020. So that then that was due. And then he told me, well, I don't do well enough, comfortable enough to show you my DM landing page. And I'm like, even if it was your name, you don't know me. And you
It's
just
so
asked for
funny how he was trying to play victim and even used words like comfort. Now, mind you, like, okay, Merk,
What's up, man?
what's the furthest you've gone to cover up some bullshit that you have you ever pulled a stunt like that? I don't think I've ever gone that far though.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I have. You hear me? I have. I have. I swear to God. I'm not gonna count with you. You hear me? I
Oh
done
my
put a lot of stuff. I done put a lot of those stunts before. Though I ain't gonna flat.
so
Bro.
my
yeah.
question is, what on the women's profile did you see that made you think that they were for sale? Did they have their Snapchat posted, their premium Snapchat posted?
I don't think he. I wasn't talking about. I wasn't talking about specifically. I wasn't talking about specific his camera. I wasn't talking about specifically like buying,
Right,
but like doing something against, you know, or saying something stupid or making a dumb move and trying to cover it up
for sure.
afterwards. Not particularly that, but eh, I think that nowadays, I don't know. It's tough because even girls will be like, yo, I need $30. I'll send you a picture or something without you searching for them. Like you'll literally get sought out for situations like that. You know, I mean, do you think that's different? Do you think that like, because you used words like it made it feel like they were trying to turn you to a product. But even like a lot of today's philosophy and the way that we think of things is like, when Jay-Z said, I'm not a businessman, I'm a business man. Like, I try to create myself as a brand bigger than just like the music I'm selling and all that kind of stuff. And a big part of it is social media that even created that environment. And now money transfer is so easy. And also there's so many beggars. Literally, it'd be like, I'll say it. I've bought pictures, but under duress. Under duress. I was
I
under duress, y'all.
I ain't never do that one though. Not yet. I ain't never do that one. I ain't never bought no. I ain't bought no pictures.
I see myself as a brand, but if you look at my
I bought some ass.
he
What?
content, I'm not the brand that he thought that I was. You know what I mean? And I actually did. I messaged one of my photographers. He took some boudoir pictures of me, and I said, "Dude, Johnny, you got to get in touch with me because this guy's trying to take pictures of me. I'm going to link him to you and to sell him my pictures for you. You can get the money out there." And so that was actually the first point of contact before I shared it on social. Put us in a group chat, and I said, "Hey, this photographer, Johnny. Hey, this guy's interested in buying some pictures of me. I signed off on it. Let him know the camera sizes and stuff, and I'll sign off, and you just let him know what pictures of me you want." So that was the first point of contact, like, or contact with him to let him know that he was asking for pictures. I sent him to my photographer because I don't need the money, and if you want me, he's a legitimate photographer that makes money taking pictures. So give him the business.
And so you want them to pay for a photo shoot. That's the
For print. Like there are legitimate pictures I have on my site that have been taken professionally that no one bought them. If you want to, you can buy them, and the money would go to my photographer.
Aaron, you're a photographer, am I correct?
Yeah, I actually do boudoir photography. I'm primarily a wedding photographer, and I'm coming in a little late to this conversation here. I definitely like my perspective on dating and the like, but I don't have a lot of opinions on what's happened. Kara just filled me in a little bit today on what's going on with it, and sometimes you just get tired, especially when you are an independent woman and you've been out there just grinding and paying your bills and making sure everything like trying to date, in this world where it's a 50% chance online that you could go on a good date or be murdered. I don't know. It's just like a weird time. But especially I'll mention to the fact of boudoir, I started that primarily to help women who have been victims of sexual assault and domestic violence. So mine comes from a totally different angle. It's about women's empowerment and taking back their body, saying this is for me. And the pictures are supposed to be for themselves. When I do a consultation with someone, I usually do ask, is this for someone other than yourself, to make sure that they're not being pressured into it. And I've done some classes with professional photographers on how to address women in the situation. You always call them by their name. You don't ever call them dear or anything. You just want to kind of take down that veil of sexuality. Like you just want them to feel empowered in front of the camera. So being a boudoir photographer and going down a route where I've seen women just be vulnerable for the first time and, maybe see themselves as beautiful, and that kind of a way that they could take control of it is a little bit different than having those pictures, bought and sold. There's just a joke. I don't think she was meaning that we're literally going to sell these pictures and stuff. It's just there is.
I was joking.
We did go to a professional that, she did go to a professional she felt comfortable with to experience that kind of vulnerability. And she felt empowered in those pictures on her private page to share those and the like. And some people do. I have people that are absolutely against me sharing their pictures in the beginning and then sign a release at the end because they feel absolutely empowered. And I would only want to share pictures that show off, the elegance of a woman and her essence and not so much her sex, I guess, for lack of better words. So yeah, I do boudoir photography. I would also like to back that up with on my Facebook and Instagram, 90% of my followers are female. So I'm also very proud of that. So it's not marketed to men, just in my business.
Because it makes you feel a little bit less gross. But I almost feel like, though, confidence and validation is the biggest problem on both sides, though, because I know even for you, part of why even and it was funny because I was gonna kind of get into that. Like for Kara, she was not confident in her body for a long time and valued a lot of people's opinions. So even the crazy colored hair, the blah blah, like the all of that comes from I'm going to unabashedly Kanye be myself right now in a world that has constantly stopped me from doing that. But
Yeah.
also I feel like part of why guys buy nudes is because and stuff like that is because they don't have self-esteem. And also, like, I don't know. I feel like you have to be in a certain place to even feel like you have to pay. I feel like guys need more compliments and they be scared to admit shit like that too. Like, it makes me sad to hear all of these support systems that you guys have set up that guys would never do for each other.
Well, I don't have a problem with people buying the pornography. I honestly do not have a problem with that at all. Um, the issue that I have in the situation is you see a pretty confident, intelligent woman on Instagram and you just assume that she's for sale. And here I am, him disguising this, conversation and bringing it after the news that he has no interest in me. There is more to me than my physical body. And for the long time, curvy girls shit to this world. I grew up in the 90s when like double zero was like what you were trying to be. I developed prematurely more than everyone else. Like people thought I was in college when I was in junior high because I had tits. And so I grew up for a long time owning my own sexuality.
But that made you feel good too, though, probably, them thinking that you were older.
I've known Brandon for a long time. I was prior younger because I wasn't comfortable in my own body. And so I'm finally at a point where I can celebrate that and I don't want to have to swat off people that I think are trying to date me that really just want to use me for my body because there is so much more to myself than that. And I'm proud of the character that I have.
But I think guys feel like girls just want their money or their belongings, though, too. It's almost like the battle of like.
And there are shallow people out there that are like that. And I'm glad to say Aaron and I are not those people. And I think that's
right. Well, it's almost like other girls have ruined it for everybody. Because literally, like, I would say, Murk, girls who aren't out for your pocket are literally like the last of the dying breed.
Man, that's why I love mine.
Like, his girl looks out, but there's a fine line between the two. Because a girl who has your back can be going out, messaging, asking a girl to cover up your tracks, and that's not attractive. I want a girl who's gonna hold me down but not look like a sucker. And that is a crazy line. I mean, I've made mistakes. Honestly, I'm even like here in the middle of a divorce. In the middle of getting divorced and being in a whole wild situation where I made decisions and I could never be mad at her for being mad at me or not backing me because it's mistakes I made. And and so that's where it gets dangerous is, but how do we equalize anything? Everything is looked at competitively.
Well, and honestly, in the situation that I'm dealing with right now, with his wife and girlfriend reaching out, it felt like, the women in his life are, trying to clean his dirty laundry. And she had it. I mean, she has her family reputation. He is probably the financial provider, knowing his job, starting with the financial breadwinner in her family, and she might be afraid of losing her financial stability through his actions. So she's taking it into her own hands to try to brush it under the rug because she could be financially dependent on him. And I understand where she's coming from it, but it doesn't mean that I understand their family because it was his action ultimately that put them in that situation, not mine. I didn't pursue him. I didn't reach out to him.
When keeping it real goes wrong. Man, that
But
nigga, he stepped to the wrong one, Murk. That, yo, y'all watching at home. Yo, share, share, share.
look at this face. Don't fuck with it. 'Cause I'll bust
Uh,
Damn, she's
you. Hey,
saying share that shit so you know not to fuck with the wrong chick. You know what I'm saying? But
waste of my time, seriously. And this did it. Took over my whole weekend. I, Aaron and I both had poison ivy over like this past week. We developed like terrible poison ivy. And yesterday, I was trying to go to Pop Air, trying to charge my phone just enough so I could get there, assuming I was going to be there for hours. Brought snacks, like I was ready to get the ticket, and I was getting all these messages and phone calls from his friends and family, and then finally himself when he was pretending that he didn't know me. And there was a point where I was like, I am preventing myself necessary self care to go get medical help to try to smooth this over with people I don't know. Why am I wasting all my time trying to help
woo.
me
Well,
help
and
the
that's
silver lining in it?
and that's why people don't stand up for themselves a lot because of the time it takes once you say that shit. Like literally, you got a nigga's wife messaging you, all kind. Bro, life is crazy.
And it was
But
in
life.
my own personal health, and that's where I was like, I have to stop messaging because I need to take care of myself at this point. And he put himself in this situation, so
and he was playing victim hard. Like that nigga should have just said sorry and took the internet beat down. That would have, but you don't know what an internet beatdown feels like until that motherfucker comes and you getting punched up beside the head.
I
Somebody
just
asked,
felt
so
very political, like when politicians get caught up in things like this, and deny, I did not have sex with that woman, Miss Monica Lewinsky, and then it comes out, and then I'm like,
Bill Clinton, good old Bill,
what's
yo,
more done to not just be like, yo, I fucked up, like I'm a loser. Like, and then I'm probably gonna come out and say that he has a sex addiction. That's the thing celebrities say, right? When they come around, I've got a sex addiction. I'm getting help for it. I'm so sorry.
I mean, there is. I feel like there is a such thing as addiction for sure. For sure. I think. Somebody asked. So, have you ever bought nudes because of lack of self esteem?
I
I
think that
think a lot of people do. If they get rejected, I don't. The internet has instant validation for you all over the place.
like,
Whether
I feel like if I had low self esteem, I would try to get connection through conversation. Like a static picture isn't going to make me feel any better about myself. I don't think of someone, you
that's a
know, like that's very static. A good picture of myself that boosts my self esteem. That makes me feel better about myself. And those are
well.
probably looking at on Instagram.
But even sending it to you, I think part of it is like the intrigue is, are they gonna bite? Of course, if you're like, hell yeah, you can see these titties, a nigga's gonna feel good about himself.
Yeah, and I've never been even even as much fun as I've had in my life. I've never been like a flasher. Again, I told you I developed before everyone else. I was very self conscious about my presence for a long time, and I don't run around flashing people. Like that's a myth. I think people with big tits are all like that, but you know,
That's not, I mean, I think it's really interesting because I think a lot of girls are proud of themselves, but then like it's like there's a fine line between like, okay, guy, you're too over eager, but I don't know. I feel like guys and girls in general, there's so much miscommunication and so much lack of understanding. Like, I think now, Merk, Have you ever had a girl? How would you feel if a girl tried to pay to see your body?
Shit, I fuck around and send my shit if you paying.
I'm gonna collect
If she
that.
paying, yeah, I fuck around and
But I think that any guy that you ask will be like, well, shit, I'm, but also I think it's one of those things kind of like you don't know unless you're in that situation. But at the same time, Merc, you don't like a girl coming on too strong neither. It's not I can't stand a thirsty chick. But in my
I
head,
mean, it
I
all
want.
depends. It all depends what type of how I'm feeling. Shit, I might be feeling like that. You feel me? Well, I want it to just be, let's get it busting right away. Shit. Sometimes I like a motherfucker to come off strong. I ain't gonna lie. But I got my moments, you feel me?
But would you
Calm down, chill out, sweetheart.
Well, right. There's a
Slow
time
and steady for sure. Like entering in slow, kind of figuring out the situation. That way you keep your head on straight. I am a big fan of the bless and release method. So although, I definitely agree to each his own on how everybody handles their situation and stuff. I just don't have the time and the energy anymore to put up with like if it's not working, that's fine. Like not everything works, like just keep it moving.
Yeah, I mean, so when was the last time that you were in a relationship and how did that come about? Was it a quick thing for you? Was it
For myself or for Kara?
for you? This is a
Oh, for
question.
myself.
We
I
asking you, Aaron B.
Oh, sure.
We putting
Okay,
you
hi.
on.
Yeah, no, I date. I did join Tinder for like 2 days and then got like a really mean message sent to me, and you don't need to give me insecurities I don't have. You know what I'm saying? And then I
Somebody
did
was talking shit on Tinder?
yeah, like it was my second match. I got somebody that like I think he was a troll. He was just on there to be mean and stuff. So that's fine. So it's not for me. I'd rather somebody meet me in person and like my vibe or like we have something in common and then we build off of that. Like, and that's why I look so much into my past, like people I've met prior, like I give them a lot more clout because there's like a foundation there and it's not, based off of pictures or whatever or social media and all that stuff that we put out there. But I would say I've dated, even recently, get to know guys, kind of see if it can work. Nothing's really worked yet. So I just keep it moving. But my last relationship, I think the reason that it ended was because we actually worked at the same workplace. And I found out some things and I just decided that was not the person that I could move forward with. It wasn't the way that I picture my life going. So it just ended.
Some shit that was going down at work was too weird to stay with him.
I mean, just when you're at your work environment and stuff, and you're trying to make it work. I'm a person who likes to keep my private business private, so I like kept it all on the side and everything, and did what I could do to just kind of covet that and have that for myself, and then it just. Unfortunately, they made some decisions that were just against something that I would consider keeping in my life. And so I moved on. I don't hold on to anything too tightly. Unfortunately, I don't hold on to jobs too tightly. I don't hold on to people too tightly. Everything can kind of come and go. And that's how I keep my equilibrium. So.
Damn. So when you stop talking to somebody, do you like not talk to them anymore? Like, so if you have like I don't know, do you still talk to your exes? I mean, are you friends with any of your exes or people you used to talk to?
Not friends with, no, but like I said, bless and release method, I wish everybody the best in their life and the healthiest and happiest that they can go and be. And if we're not the healthiest and happiest together, then I really do hope that they can find that with someone else. I think I've kept the door open that I could have a conversation with anybody, but I don't need to have a conversation with anybody. Like once the dirt
so
has
they
been
text
done,
you and you respond when they hit you up. basically.
I'm sorry.
So if they hit you up, you wouldn't be completely opposed to talking, but it's not going to go
No,
past it.
I would talk to anybody. I just recently had an ex want to stop by and say hi and stuff, and we chatted, and my mom even called in and she was like, tell him I'm proud of him. He got his credit score up. I don't know, like all these good things.
Oh,
So
hell.
mom was like there being like, good job. And I don't know, like
Wait, how did the credit score come into a conversation?
because
That's
you know,
what
he
it-
was one of those people that comes in and he sees that, you know, what I've accomplished and what I've got, and, you know, kind of wanted better for himself. And he was a good person with a lot of potential. And it's just one of those things that was really interesting because when he came back into my life recently and he's back out, it's just kind of like, come in, you know, check in, leave, whatever. He did say that he wants me to be proud of him is the thing. He really wanted to show me that he'd been working on himself. And one of the things was, you know, he got his credit score up. So, you know, it's good things.
But it doesn't. What have you ever been the reason why you broke up with somebody?
Probably,
What kind of
but you have to ask them.
Let's
I
be
don't know.
accountable here. You made it sound like you've been perfect, but even
I haven't dated a lot.
like,
I'm not talking
I
about
feel
like
people are worth
mental
more
experience.
than just like love and release, though. Too, that sounds about as bad as like, here's 20, keep it moving.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, the earlier days were definitely hard. Kara and I actually, we had our falling out. We just recently started getting back into each other's lives, which is wonderful because we're now in the same space. So we're re-getting to know each other. Excuse me. We're reconnecting, getting to know each other as single, you know, young 30-year-old women in this community. So we've hung out a couple of times just to kind of catch up, and I think we're at the same place. But when we did have our falling out, it was because I was so hung up on the long-term relationship that I was with, and I had completely lost my identity in that relationship. And so what I did was I bought a house and I told him he couldn't move in. So that's what ended that. And it killed me. It tore me up. I lost my friendship over it with Kara because I was 22 and I was way too caught up and selfish in my own stuff, and it wasn't giving her, like, I wasn't being a good friend at all. I was being a sucky friend because every time, you know, we would talk, it would be about my situation. So, and yeah, like we were both unhealthy together. It's not that it's all him, but it definitely was somebody that I couldn't grow with. So
now, Murk,
Yeah.
I don't know what I would do if somebody bought a house and told me I couldn't live there like that. But also, a lot of people overinvest expecting shit back, that you knew how that dusty dude was then, and they got rose-colored glasses on, and then it's like, you know, like they get mad at them, and it's like, I don't know. I feel like, how can we go into a relationship without rose-colored glasses and being honest with ourselves without being judgmental at the same time? And like, it's such a crazy thing to maneuver.
That relationship was built out of immaturity. We were trying to play house with each other for 3 years. It was my first relationship. Like, I didn't even have my first kiss till I was 19. I just, you know, I kind of saved. Yeah, I saved all those things. I wanted everything to be special, you know, and he was my first boyfriend. I put a lot of clout into it. He had his own things, and everything became about his identity. And I was happy to be like there for him, like too much that it was like my life was about him. And, you know, it wasn't, that was my power. I was able to buy a house. I was able to get some security. Honestly, it was not my fault. It was turning into an abusive situation. And I think that that's the one time that marriages and relationships cannot be saved. I think you can get through infidelity. I think you can get through a lot of things, but if you feel the need to abuse your partner, that's it. No more room to move forward with.
Well, and that's what's so crazy though, is
Facts.
like, that's super facts for sure.
Facts.
But that's also what's crazy, Merk, because like, even in my mind, it's kind of like, though, like, you flipped it on its head. Now, instead of like you looking up to him, he's looking to make you proud. You know what I'm saying? But it's like,
That's a different situation. I do want to make that clear. That door, once it turned to abuse, was closed. There, I do bless and release. I hope them the best. I hope that they got help to
yo,
move
bless
forward
and
in their
release
new
is
life.
so
But no,
savage.
that's done.
Yeah, honestly, types of men are the ones that are like probably all the problems on Aaron without seeing the error of their ways. Like I don't really see him turning a new leaf and becoming a different person after that situation. He probably just found someone else that was willing to settle to be treated like that.
And who knows, because I don't have him in my life. So hopefully it's going all right.
No. I mean, I don't know. It's tough to tell what things are going to end up or how they're going to end up being, or even like, I feel like life is a fine balance. Sometimes you put your money where your mouth is. Sometimes you, so, but like, how do you prove your worth in such a fast paced world though? And everybody, and also it's the fakest. So it's almost like, like how do you even navigate through
Yeah, who's your
everything?
audience? Yeah, who's your audience? I think that's
About
yeah. I'll piggyback off that because I think that's huge. I have 106 Facebook friends. I follow 40 people on Instagram. I keep my audience small, and anybody that's in my Facebook friend group is somebody that I could also go to lunch with or would have in my home and I care about. So limiting your access to people who could just, come in and say wild things or whatever, like I just feel like I don't have that kind of audience at all. But it is really hard, especially, wanting to be a career woman and market yourself in a certain way. You have to put yourself out there. And I've always hated that about marketing, like that you have to be the face of your brand. I hate that because I don't want people coming after me. I want people coming after my product, like they really like my photography or whatever the case may be. But I, in my personal life, keep it very small. I wake up day after day after day, sometimes with no notifications from anybody. And that's, it gets lonely. I don't want to sound like crazy, but like it gets lonely sometimes. But it's like you also know that like when people do come around, it's more genuine. Or like when you get that like on
It
Facebook, it's from somebody who like really is in your
actually
corner and
read
rooting
it,
for you,
right?
know?
Yeah, I mean, well, even with stuff like this, like I get all of that, and especially like it's very much so our age group that navigates that way. But like, even to get like this podcast where I want it to be and all those kind of things, I don't know. It sucks because people are so attracted to drama. Like, even in relationships, there is an appeal to danger. There's an adrenaline rush. There's an excitement that comes with taking risk and knowing yourself and things like that.
Is
Murk,
there until you reach your like bullshit threshold and you're just like, I think the drama's for, I don't know.
well, even this,
I don't know.
I I keep my personal life private, right? But
Yeah.
I will let out certain things to generate a certain level of whatever. So, but it's like it's all imagination, but it's giving them what they want. The only problem sometimes is they go home thinking that like like the live we did yesterday, Merc. I'll be I'll be angry and alive. People will think that I turn off the camera and be angry when it's off. No, I'm putting on a production for you. I'm gonna talk calm as hell. You know what I'm saying, and move on with my life. And it helps bring attention to things. Like even during this, we've had such a civil conversation. When we first started, we had like 20 viewers, 25, which is a solid number. Now, if we got to shouting about OnlyFans, like, and if I said some shit like, you know, men run like da da da, like, you know what I'm saying? But because we're having a genuine, real conversation, like, and we have said some crazy shit and admitted some crazy shit. My man's Murk admitted some crazy shit. See,
For
didn't
real, bro.
forget what you said, Murk.
Hey, it's facts, and hey, and we're gonna get into more. You know, we're gonna get into that a little bit
Well, I
more.
mean, with OnlyFans, like,
No shame on OnlyFans. Let's make that absolutely clear. I am a firm believer in legalized sex work. Okay? If that's the path that somebody wants to take, I am all for that. I think that that's fine for the decision that they make. And then the taxes can go to maybe healthcare programs and mental health counseling and all that stuff too. So there is
just
no
don't
shame
get in
on
her
any
box
woman.
thinking she's a OnlyFans girl is what the
Huh?
viewers need. Viewers
Well,
don't be getting,
here's the thing. Like,
but there's the
you're not.
rollover is my
She's
problem.
talking about the package, Deck. She's talking about the package, okay? Like if you look at somebody's bakery Instagram or something, and then you're going to be coming at them with all that stuff. That's one thing. Like, you know, it's separate from OnlyFans. Like if somebody's putting themselves out there like that and they have their link and all that kind of stuff, like they deserve to be supported as well. And maybe that's
but a lot
the
of
only thing I
people
can add to
aren't.
that conversation is we don't want to be like general women, like regular women that, you know, just don't have that skill to go and be on OnlyFans or whatever. Maybe we just don't want to be like, maybe we want something a little bit more genuine, you know, to come our way, and it comes from a little bit of upset that.
And this is what I meant by the rollover. A lot of girls who have OnlyFans, like, and I've seen the meme. It's like, why don't you got an OnlyFans? Like, it's like there's two kind of girls: girls who have OnlyFans, or girls who are trying to figure out how to make one without getting caught. Is was a meme I seen, and like, of course, that's not fully true, but like, the thing is, some people will have OnlyFans and they don't post like they have them. It's literally a secret, and you literally kind of gotta throw a fishing pole into the water, and that's where the trickle effect.
Got you. No, I want to throw that back to you guys. I mean, I just got invited to this morning. Thanks for this. I mean, sounds like a fun little thing to do on an afternoon. So hi, I don't know what I'm contributing, but I'm here.
Everything.
But I wanted to throw it back to the men. Just two things. A, you know, where did you meet your wife, Murk? And you know, where did you go out and meet, and how did you approach? And when you noticed that she was different, how did you treat her? Or that's my first thing. My second thing is, I know you wanted to talk about love and money, and it was really interesting when Kara told me about what this was kind of about. Is
right now, shout out.
A commentary, like a comment was made that women are like looking for money or something like that. I don't agree with that, but I would love to know your perspectives on those things, please.
Well, I'm not married. I'm not married.
Just boot up.
So you was asking like, how did I meet her and shit?
Yeah.
He's getting shy.
Shit.
Yeah,
I've never heard this story, y'all. So I'm
shit.
And why did you approach her differently, or did her vibe change it for you? Like, do you think you could come on to a woman where you're like, I'm gonna hit on her, but oh my gosh, like she's like relationship material?
I'm gonna just keep it 28 facts with you.
Presentation, yeah.
Shit, we started off just cool. We was just homies at first, literally. Like, it wasn't like we was probably like homies for about 3, 4, 5 months type shit. We weren't even, together type shit.
Wow.
But we was kicking it every day type shit, vibing. I'll let you know. I was kind of, when I met her, I was, she kind of put me on my, got my mind on right, I was kind of, I don't know really, it was kind of, it was a minute ago for real, honestly.
So
took it to the next step.
So basically, are you saying that go on, Kara?
I was just asking initiated from a friendship into a romantic relationship.
You said who?
Yeah,
Which one?
what made her the one is basically what what
Some
stood
real
out
shit.
about her, and when
She
did
was.
you recognize it, and how did you even decide to take your time to be a homie?
Shit. Honestly, I ain't gonna lie. I was getting locked up and shit and all type of shit. You feel me? I'm talking about every time it's her right there. You know what I'm saying? By my side. And not even just that. It was a lot of more situations that I really don't want to talk about, you know. But you know, like motherfuckers, you know, stood by my side through all that shit, you know. And like she just showed me she was, you know, she was real. Like, I don't know. She just showed me she wanted to, she wanted to be the one. I ain't really never had no female stick with my, stick by me like the way she did and all that. And like, I don't know, she just different.
There is a whole song about that by Life Jennings called Must Be Nice. Highly recommended. Okay.
Yeah,
That's that
What it's
whole
called?
song.
must be not. You know the song by Life
Even
Jennings,
when
must
your
be.
husband days are gone, she'll be by your side, still holding
Oh,
on.
okay. Okay.
You're
We
welcome.
got a live musical
You're
performance
welcome.
today. Yo, I mean, but and that's even another thing. Do you guys, which shoots a question back at you guys, because ultimately that's what it comes down to for a man. Are you gonna stick by and like it seems like a couple like you mentioned a guy telling you not to take to wear sliders. Do you don't feel like you take a man as they are, but like do you feel like your list of reasons to not date somebody is a little bit or like I think almost the one is the guy who makes you take an extra like I don't know that makes you do things you would never do before. Like even
I've
with what
been I've been in 4-year relationships. So since I was 15 to when I was 31, I was in for 16 years. I was in 4-year relationships with some time in between. And my last relationship was my engagement. And I feel like I was trying to be wised up. Like living in the Midwest, I was trying to be wised up since I was in high school. Like the the guy that I first dated was my high school sweetheart, and we tried to navigate that through college. He told me that if I went to school out of town, that he'd break up with me. So I went to Heartland, got my associates. I stayed in town for him. Once we broke up, I moved to Chicago and went to school for fashion design. Like guys that took me back, guys have helped me a lot in my life. I've committed to those relationships thinking that I was going to marry them. And I feel like I did that through my 20s. And so now I'm at the point where I am confident in myself and there's things I know I can accomplish in my life that if I was in a relationship that would force me to dumb myself down or walk myself down, that I'm going to be living my most life for myself. And I think that's why now having a relationship is not a priority to me, but I do want to meet someone organically. So I'm not the pictures that I'm posting online or whatever. Those are not the way to try to find somebody to date me. If I wanted to date online, I would. I genuinely believe in meeting people organically. I can't hear you.
oh, it also shouldn't stop you from meeting anybody organically because you post those kind of pictures.
Yeah, I'm open.
It shouldn't interfere with the process because you post the kind of pictures you want. You
I'm
post
open.
literally whatever the fuck you want.
I feel like whoever I do end up with is going to be someone that appreciates how true I am to myself, not the judgment that's going to care that I have these like selfies or whatever online. Not someone who's going to try to hide me, shame me, because I'm only there. Like I really look for someone who's level-headed, who knows themselves, who has the emotional intelligence to sustain a relationship with me. And jealousy, narcissism, control, financial dependence on someone, like I don't have room or time for that in my life and relationship. So if I met someone who had a connection with them, I would entertain that. And how it happened. Full circle back to the conversation, the way that guy approached me sounded like someone in town I could get to know. And so that's why I think I was so engaged. And it really was a between, oh, this is someone kind of my age where I could get to know, to, oh, of course, this man is only trying to,
Well, and I think that's the craziest thing for me to process out the whole story is that, like, Jimmy had a chance at titties without spending any money. All he had to say is, let's hang out.
Well, and that's what I told him. I said, it's treated women with respect. The funny thing is, like, a woman would treat her body for free. Like, if we were partners, I'd charge my boyfriend to see my body, But it does take a certain amount of tact to get a woman
But
to do that with you.
Yeah, well, obvious, like, yeah, no, but like, yeah, you would have been interested in actually going, like, you looked at his pics and thought he was. Did I just? That's crazy. He blew his whole.
I didn't know that. He was married, so he didn't want to date.
But no, like, I mean, yeah, thank God he didn't, but it wasn't even like he had to say that. It wasn't even a situation. He could have just like kicked it with you as a real human. But there's so many chicks who literally act otherwise that it's.
I don't see that. I'm so curious about that myself. I don't know what people are putting out there. I think
they act so stuck up nowadays. It seems like you got a better chance at that than having a real genuine relationship. So
I'm personally nervous about that myself because I have heard, words like intimidating or confident or, things like that. And it's like used in a negative way where it's like they don't want to approach you or something. So I am very sensitive to men nowadays as well with not knowing how to approach a woman, but I don't think the answer is ever like, will you sell me some nudes? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like, even when I was on dating sites and stuff, like, if they would send me a message, like, my question would be, like, would I react appropriately to this if he had done this in, like, Kroger? Like, I don't know. Just, like, I don't know. People just extra sometimes behind a computer screen. But I'll tell you from my perspective, too, it's very scary.
Did you hear what she just said, Mike? Mm-hmm. She said, would you say that shit to me in Kroger? Holy damn.
Would you though? I mean, seriously. And honestly, on the other side of things, like on dating sites, I have been stalked. I have had people send me pictures from my backyard. It's been crazy. So like just putting myself out there as a female I consider myself a totally average female. I have a high value system.
Don't do that to yourself. You're beautiful. You're so beautiful.
Thank you for the compliment. Thank you so much. But I don't go out there and hold myself
like wrong or unprofessional of me.
No, I think compliments are great, and I really hope you guys as men don't lose that. I think compliments are wonderful. I have male friends too, and I accept compliments, and I really appreciate that. I think that that's a lost art, though, if I could put it that way. It's a lost art on when it's appropriate. Just read the room. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe don't say it to somebody at work. I don't know. Like there's a whole like big conversation about that. But
it's hard to read the room behind the computer. Okay.
For sure.
I'm at the crib trying to feel vibes in there.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's where we're left to. Like, I am a wedding photographer, and I would say like at least half of people met on Tinder. So I got all excited because I am kind of open for a relationship. I'm at the point now that I'm like, this would be great to have somebody to share time with, like go on vacations, and like there's a lot of good things that you could have if you had another person to share time with. So I have my eyes have been open. What'd you say, Murk?
How old are you, if you don't mind?
I'm 34, actually.
Yo, but you said half of your weddings that you photographed.
The last 5. The last 5 they met on Tinder, yes. And it started off, which is interesting. I guess that's an interesting spin to this conversation because the connotation of Tinder and joining Tinder and what that might mean. Right? Yeah, because I never joined Tinder until that. And then I got, 2 messages in and I got 19 messages about how just I don't belong on Tinder and all this and that and nasty stuff. So just from some mean troll. But yeah, like people are meeting people, and I think it can start as an attraction and then it can turn into something else. But you got to be available. Men, please be available. Like, be available.
Ladies,
single,
call us pretty sometimes, ladies.
One,
Call us pretty.
please be single.
And actually be single. Yo, that's who's available now. No, hold on. I think at this age, even single people, because even a lot of your shit is from past relationships. How can you find a clean slate? Like, I don't got no kids. Even the fact that 2 of us, well, you don't have any kids, Aaron?
I have no kids. No.
Yo,
I've never been
the
married.
fact that 3 of us have no kids on this and all of us is over 30 is mind blowing. But
what they call that for a man is that you're a high value male.
Baggage is a motherfucker, and we will make a great person pay over other people's crimes every day, even in the judicial system.
Yeah.
See, when I moved from the Midwest to California, I was in San Francisco Bay Area for like 5 years. The median age to have your first child in the North Bay is 37. And that is because the cost of living is so high in the area. Everyone is so career oriented. You're not into a high enough to afford a family genuinely until you're in your 30s. I worked in Silicon Valley. Like, I feel like getting out of the bubble of the Midwest and seeing that there's other ways to live your life and that there's things that you can accomplish aside from just having a family or a spouse has given me more freedom and acceptance of myself to take my time to find the right person, because I feel like so many people settle down for the sake of settling down when really they're friends, and then they end up, divorced or separated or cheating X, Y, and Z. And so I happily will take my time. And I think Aaron and I talked about this before. There's like a large chance that me and a man our age that could have had a years before, or he could have children.
And you have to decide how that makes you feel. Like, you're not the first person that has, walked down the aisle in a dress that they are going to commit their life to. You're not the first person laid up in a hospital bed giving birth to their first child. Like, there's a lot of things that takes away from you as a woman. But I think that as a male or female, as you seek out independence and the more you can live, a full life as a single person, the less you kind of need that other person, which is where I think like codependency breeds like young marriages and the like. So it is really hard. You become, I think that makes you a high value human being, though. That's kind of what I was saying earlier, especially with men in this area. If you are a good man and you maybe haven't had kids yet, or I'm not going to throw kids in the mix because you know what, you can have some kids, but like if you don't have kids and you haven't been married and you have a good job and you have goals and you have friends and you're good looking to a certain extent, like you're a high value man. And in this oversaturated world, you have too many choices. So, women like me, I don't get asked out. I don't get taken out on dates. I haven't been out in a long time. And I think that's because we just get lost in this like sea of choices. Everybody's, stuck on online.
Well, because some people are like, it's more like who's trying to get attention the most. Yeah. More so than who's the best.
And I'm hiding. Like, no, you can't find me. I mean, I'm sure you can. Please don't find me.
Well, you're funny because even what I said was, I literally had to register you as the wedding photographer because I've seen you and slid right by it a million times, a bunch of weddings, and just like, I did. Thank you for the, thank you. The pictures came out beautiful. Like,
yeah, the guys.
That's all. When you see me, it's like seeing a ghost. Like, That's a Drake line. I'm in a Kanye line, but yeah, like I've seen you passing through, and it's not even that I was like, oh, you know, It's like you don't want the attention. That's what it comes off as
Okay.
more so than.
Especially in my moment, in my environment, though, like when I'm in a professional environment, like especially at weddings, when I'm behind my camera, I'm on the game. You know, I'm at work, and I do try to do that. But I like to let loose with them. I think one of my biggest things is having fun with the bride, and making sure that like we actually were friends and had a great time. Like I was another piece, like part of her entourage for the day. So I do let loose, but my focus is on the bride all day. And maybe I could, you know, I love the tips. So you guys have these tips. So yeah, I could let loose a little bit more, and, you know, and definitely try to be more open. Cause I think, especially with a camera in my hand, isn't that like an invitation to come up and start a conversation? Like it's a safe conversation to have. Like, hey, what kind of camera do you have? Even though you don't know anything about cameras, like.
well, cameras in general, it's weird because they draw people to them and make them run away at the same time. But like, even I don't know, you I think people like Kara was not scared to deal with the days of flack that came after that decision. And most people don't want confrontation, but a lot more of us need to not be scared to let the page rock a little bit to get a point out. Like even
we need to stop behavior when it starts. And I mean, there's so many different ways
that's
to
how
go
our
about it. But she
government
put it
has
on her
run
Facebook.
crazy. All kinds of people are people just like that.
Yeah.
Just like poor little Timmy. We're gonna call him Timmy. You know,
it's appropriate.
You know, we got little tink tink in the you know, but like evil festers when it's not called out and confronted, and it's like always choosing the lesser of two evils. And you could really change somebody's life and teach them a valuable lesson by letting them get hit by that motherfucking car. She let the hellhounds out on that yo. Murk, that nigga was begging. He's like, I feel so disgusted, and oh my god, like you take your little ass whooping. You know you're probably gonna ask another chick. Maybe he never will. He's gonna think a lot harder, and he's gonna strategize better, and his life will be better, and he'll get more of what he wants, and so will his wife. She might get fucked up for a couple days.
May we hope that, though, for them, the good things. Like, may we hope that, especially everybody in a marriage, everybody with a family. I swear, I'm not bullshitting here. Like, let's hope that goes well first. Like, you can make a commitment to somebody like that. You know, like that relationship comes first. You know, try everything you can with that. Hopefully, they can get over this and find the source of what's going on.
It seems very much so like that'll be what happens too, because she don't seem like she's ready to go yet, even though Taylor Swift be trying to let.
But should they run? Okay, from a male perspective, should they run though? I think that's like I think that's small beans, you know? Trying to hit on somebody on the internet to break a whole marriage or something. I mean, I don't know. I don't know all the ins and outs, but I don't think that's a deal breaker. You know, just because Kara was able to stand up for herself and say, no, please don't come at me like that on her own private Facebook page, you know, like.
That shit ain't private. There's nothing private about anything. You can't use private in Facebook.
Oh, shit. Okay.
You can't use private in
My
Facebook.
stuff is super private, so like you're not
niggas done screen recorded this
sorry.
shit.
Backtrack.
Screenshotted.
Bro.
Sending it like, you know. So
what I think about the situation real quick is that I was surprised at how many people were trying to sue me for, I guess, airing the situation. And, you know, between his family and friends, even people that I know that personally would not have the gumption to share and post that information. Same thing, they don't want the backlash. They don't want the negative or positive attention that comes from sharing the situation. Like, I felt been in enough situations with men that have done or said inappropriate things to me that I have not said or hidden their errors. You know, I've kept that secret for them.
Yeah.
Why I hold on to that guilt for them and repeat it for them when it's not my business to hold, it's not my guilt to hold on to. So it is
Yo, but and so here's and we also left this out because it's so sad even that we were talking about this guy and his wife, like, and them doing well, and we didn't even bring what you're gonna gain or
yeah.
like your prosperity, and you getting something positive out of this situation. But
You mean
why
like
is it like that for people
No,
who go
no,
through
but you
these
stood up
things?
for
But
yourself. Like it's not a problem. Like you handled yourself the way
no,
that
but
you wanted to
it's
handle yourself as a
niggas will
woman.
know
Like
in the
you're in
future
your
how to
power
come.
with that, and there's going to be people with all kinds of opinions, and if they're on the sour side of things, then the opinion's going to be sour, and it's a shitty situation full circle. Let's just put it that way. Nobody wanted any of this. It sounds like
Even the
full
first
circle.
thing Merck said, he said, "That was you who did that."
Yeah, because
Like,
you know,
Why am
that's
I acting
crazy.
like I'm crazy? Like I haven't been on Facebook in like 2 weeks. I feel like I don't know. I don't know enough about this.
questions on my
but
Facebook
it's well,
about
and even the point of me saying it was you who did it is because it create. He's like, "Oh, I gotta be on my P's and Q's, not say anything too crazy. Let me put my filter, like, but and also we're trying to be professionals here. As silly, we're silly because we're trying to be entertaining. That has
Yep.
nothing to do with any childish ideologies. Like
what's going
he's only smoking weed for entertainment value, not to get high.
Yeah, so people that actually personally follow me on Facebook, like most of like they're people that I genuinely know and
Yeah.
they like sell MLM stuff. But I already have a reputation for talking about unsolicited dick pics. Like I've received more than my fair share. I can make a coffee table book about all these freaking pictures that guys like to send me. And
Oh
so I
my
feel
god.
like this is that outside my brand to expose somebody. This is the first time that I've like used someone's name in that context. But there are people
It was revolutionary.
that are intimidated by me because they're afraid to step up that I'm gonna expose them in some way. And I'm like, well then don't act like a misogynist pig. Like treat
You
me with respect and you won't have any you won't you won't be blasted. So I do think in some way it does, ward off the type of attention that I want from guys that I do know. They don't come at me that way because they don't want to be screenshotted and shared. And I think it's okay to have that boundary. Like I'm okay for them to be a little bit intimidated by me because that's not the person I want to be with. That's going to treat me that way. And I'm not going to
Well, you're not losing anything. You're cutting all kinds of excess fat. It's like, because people are showing you their true colors.
yeah.
The people telling you to stop. Like,
Yep.
am I telling you to stop? Nah. I said, woo, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
That's the only energy I need. No,
Yeah.
but
Everybody sets boundaries different. The other side of the Gemini here, I delete like conversations that start sweet, and I get the little like compliments and stuff, and then it starts going the other way, or you're starting to show me something otherwise. I delete. Like I don't delete friendships anymore. I'm kind of like, I don't know. I haven't done that in a while, but as far as conversations, threads of keeping things going and the like going back to stuff that isn't the current narrative and everything. Like I can't say that I'm bigger or better or would have done this at a different time of my life. I think in a different time of my life it would have been different. But now that I really want to focus on finding somebody like me, I want to find somebody that I don't have time for the people that aren't that somebody. It's like I just want to keep moving forward to
even
like
putting them on blast, that I think that is a big part. I think that eliminated about 50% of the fuck arounds from
They're,
even trying. It's weird. You want to present yourself a certain way, but sometimes being your rawest,
yeah.
nastiest self, like like, because I make music. I wrote a line and it was like, you run away whenever I show you the raw deal,
Yeah.
and it's like, no, Why would you? I'm only trying to be honest with you. And I think a lot of people have a hard time being honest.
Nasty.
No.
You know,
I think that she's going to find the love that she wants. She's going to attract the people, and she's going to
Exactly.
distract the bullshit and attract what she wants. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, everybody can have comments. I haven't read the chat. I don't want to read the chat probably. I don't know what everybody has to say and all this, but yeah, I'm not looking. At the end of the day, it's, you know, it's, she lives in her body and with her thoughts and with her actions, and that makes her sleep better at night to be like, listen, I at least know that this person is real behind the screen, and you know, maybe she's even gauging her threat level with that too, like, you know, because you never know who you're talking to, and I've had the worst of it where you really don't know who you're talking to, and next thing you know, you're in a bad situation with somebody that, you know,
yeah, who's not who
I
they
don't know,
say they
it's a messed up world, and that's why I try to hide from it as much as possible online. I feel pretty exposed on this, so you're welcome for being here, but
Oh no, thank you. No, because like it's really so touchy, and it's such a like delicate thing, like having guests on here and making sure they're comfortable and making sure that like there isn't any surprises or anything that comes in the future. I got like a 99.9% rating doing hundreds of interviews in all kinds of circumstances. One time my guest like threatened to kill a commenter and yeah, and then he was like, "Can you take the interview down?" And I'm like, "Nigga, what?" But so I think it's been a great conversation, very insightful, and we were able to disagree and agree on a lot of things, and I feel like be honest about a lot of things, and hopefully it helps somebody. Don't be a fucking pervert, guys out there.
for sale. Not all women are just after men's bank accounts.
Girls, be real, be genuine. Both be real, be genuine. It's the hardest thing for any of us to do, but the easiest thing to do. Because, I mean, because of the prosecution it comes with, I don't know. They make it hard to be real. But I encourage people to, and the more easier that we make it to be yourself and be real and to speak 28 facts into existence, will be good. It's been a joy having you guys. It's been fun and it's been insightful. And a continuation of something I saw that made me think and I thought would be a good conversation point.
Well, awesome.
So,
Thanks for having us today. Let me speak my piece and hear your perspective on dating and money and relationships.
many blessings to you, Murk, and this wonderful girl that you found. You light up when you talk about her. I think you got good things
look
going.
at this smile.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, yes.
Like,
and I know a wedding photographer, so.
Hey! Oh shit,
I'm
she's
gonna hit you up.
listening right now.
I'm gonna
And
hit
she
you
gonna
up
be
in a few
applying that
years.
pressure. A few years.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be around, I hope.
I think that's
Thank
another
you so
thing
much.
too. Nobody wants to grow up too quick, man. Peter Pan is underrated.
Right?
They're scared to talk about Peter Pan syndrome, and especially in our generation. Like literally, I'm getting divorced, and like part of my feelings was like, you know, like I didn't really mean it. I thought I was
Really?
gonna make it up to you. I was gonna grow up eventually. You know.
So sounds like you met her at the wrong time. I think everybody has to go through their stuff, you know what I'm saying? And if you could go through your stuff while in a marriage and get through that, that's something.
I mean, you can grow for a certain amount of time and then grow separate too. I almost feel like marriage needs to be contractual because, like, and it's fucked up because it's not even like I'm sad about it, like that I necessarily. I don't know. I guess I like. I don't know. I guess I feel bad now that I did things that I should have been better than. now, not necessarily like I mean, because it wasn't a bad person, and I didn't mean that harm, So it's kind of like that kind of thing. So I'm not like trying to like save it per se, but
Make peace with the universe with it, like.
yeah, but almost only for my ego when I think
Yeah,
about it.
it's only for
For
your
my
ego.
pride's
Yeah,
sake.
that's a good point.
Well, and for
Good
her
point.
sake too, but like a lot of it is like, whoa, don't go out there talking about me like that. Like, whoa, I can't be these things. Like the idea of somebody being out there in the world thinking bad things about me just crushes my soul. And
Well, let's
somebody
think
who I
about her
gave
for a
so
minute
much
too. Think about
of
her,
my
and she has to go out into the dating world now again too, and she's going to be on this side of things, and maybe think about it from that perspective. How when you approach women in the future and how you come at them, or how you want your relationship to be, that how you wanted to treat her, and that maybe she'll see from your actions. Maybe there's a friendship that can come from that or something. But that's too
I'm
bad, man.
not a
I'm
bad
really sorry that your
I'm not a
marriage
bad
ended in
guy.
divorce.
Yeah, well, I'm not a bad guy. I just we can all be stubborn and we all react differently to things that happen, and we all try to express ourselves in different ways, and sometimes the message lands and sometimes, like in little Tink Tink's case, you overshoot. We keep it in real close.
So yeah, don't do that. Learn.
Thank you for coming to our TED Talk. Bye.